Princeton did a great job at the free throw line. That helped keep them in. Also, turnovers relatively low on both sides. One thing that you don't see on this part of that halftime stats in terms of the team is individually, and Jerome Coleman is just 1 out of 7 from the floor. So he's got 3 points there. Well down the list. He's the guy we told you about in the open. He can have a big impact in this game. So far, he is not.
And on the other side, Gloger, the leading scorer, just 1 of 4 from beyond the three-point line. How about the Princeton Tigers shoot 2 for 13 from beyond the three-point line and find themselves only down by 4.
So there is Coleman coming back out onto the floor. He sat down for a portion of the first half after picking up his first foul. Never did find a rhythm shooting the basketball. Buried 1-3 from way outside. Well, the Tigers start the second half off with the ball, trailing it by 4. From the top, Wallace, a little bit short. And Lamizana picks right up where he left off. Stepping into a 3.
Really stepping in, huh? The only thing that slowed him down in the first half was that second silly foul that put him on the bench. Boy, he has had a big-time game doing it on the defensive end, rebounding the basketball and knocking down shots as well.
He had 20 in their ball game in North Carolina. He's got 15 here right now.
And during that one stretch against North Carolina, he was unstoppable, just like he's been here this evening.
Princeton kind of laying back a little bit here. Wente stepping back for a 3. A little bit short with it. And the foul call is going to be on Judson Wallace. We're going over the back of Kareem Wright on the rebound.
And Princeton's going to get themselves back into the game. They're going to have to step up and knock down some of those three-point shots. It's such a huge part of their offense.
And now you're seeing a little bit more patience. You heard Gary Waters tell Mick Mottinghoff going off the floor at halftime that his team was rushing things a little bit. 2 men on Lamizana. It's going to leave somebody open. Sherrod slashing to the basket.
And getting by people as he slashes. Somehow able to get by 2 defenders there with this quickness.
Venable creates an opening on the floor, but good recovery defensively by the Scarlet Knights, who are now up by 9. Persia for 3. And off the miss. Here come the Scarlet Knights again.
Now just 2 of 16 from beyond the three-point line.
That's Coleman. Still hasn't found it. He's 1 out of 8. And that could be big right there as Lamizana just picked up his 3rd foul.
On second time, he's come over to the back. Good fundamental play by Princeton to just box him out. And here's that slashing play you talked about, Scott. Somehow able to get between the 2 defenders. Mike Sherrod with the nice finish.
There's Gloger, bothered by Coleman. Princeton continues to be patient. Gloger, a good job of squaring up. And how about that? You want to talk about a shooter's roll? That's a shooter's hop, roll, and skip.
And somehow it doesn't hit the shot clock on top. And a little back spin to bring it down. He thought it hit the top of the basket. Still pointing up there.
Move it.
See how far he's gotten with it. Right. Oh, all of a sudden that little baby hook shot is becoming a weapon for Kareem Wright.
Being aggressive every time he catches the ball in the low blocks the last few times. He's looking to score.
Wallace waits for help to arrive, and Gloger short with a 3, but Wente quickest to the loose ball. There is Gloger stepping around the screen. And a traveling violation. They say that Gloger dragged the pivot foot. 5th turnover for the Tigers. Check it out. Did it hit the top? No, it did not.
No, little backspin right there. Brings it back down. Good call by the officials. You hardly ever see that. You figure it had to hit something to come back down.
Spun like a lob wedge.
There you go.
Not my lob wedge, but a lob wedge.
I'm going to say, boy, you're better than I thought, huh? Make that happen.
Don't believe it. Coleman, too strong. 1 out of 9 from the floor. And the tapped rebound belongs to Princeton. Once again, Rob, You're talking about a gym here that if you are not used to the way it looks, the way the shooting background looks, it can be awfully difficult to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, your depth perception in here is really difficult. Opposing teams always seem to struggle, especially from the outside here.
Wente brought the defense to him, and now Wallace can't hit the three. Big rebound, Venable in the putback.
Well, if you're not making outside shots, you got to go make something happen. Venable, smallest guy on the floor for Princeton, with the exception of Persia, gets an offensive rebound and put back.
Back to a 7-point game. Sherrod from the line. And a tap rebound to Coleman.
You see why they leave him unguarded. Not a very good outside shooter.
Shields in and out. And Wallace had good position for the rebound. Well, Rutgers had the big lead, the basketball, and a lot of the momentum. Princeton has staved a little bit of that off now behind Gloger.
Amazingly enough, without knocking down threes.
Wallace, another open three.
I mean, wide open.
He's had a few of them.
They're now 2 for 20, 10% for Princeton. A team that regularly shoots it at about 40%. This year coming in at 38%.
Venable cut off there. Good job defensively by Shields. Wente, little carry through and a held ball. The alternate possession will give it back to the Scarlet Knights. A good defensive possession for Rutgers. And some frustration right there for Princeton. Kareem Wright doing it offensively and right there defensively as well, has gotten his team the basketball back up by 7. Jim, now, what's that like for a shooting background if you're not familiar with this place?
Oh, it's a tough place for opposing teams to come in and shoot the basketball. There's no depth behind the basket, and you see this wide open space, and you see the lights that are hanging down there. It's a difficult place for opposing teams to shoot. Well, tonight it's been tough for Princeton. They usually knock down threes in this building, but they've been struggling mightily from beyond the three-point line tonight.
Take a look at that, 38% on the year, 2 out of 20 here tonight. That's not a depth perception thing as much as it's just they're not falling. They've had several really open looks, especially sophomore Judson Wallace. Rutgers is playing off him defensively and allowing him that shot. They're going to keep playing off him until he proves he can make one.
Oh, he's had plenty of time. He's had time to tee it up, check the wind, see if you got any wind involved.
He is 1 out of 5 from beyond the arc.
If I remember, he hit his first and he's missed his last 5.
There's Wright, baby jump shot from the lane, and as a brick. And Lamizana kept the rebound alive for Coleman.
They just simply jumped over top of everybody, avoided the contact.
Not a good night for Jerome Coleman as he turns it over. It's just the 4th turnover for the Scarlet Knights. They've taken care of the basketball, but Princeton gets it back now, down by 7.
We had good flow to the game here in the first half, not so here in the second. Been a slow start to the second half for both teams.
It's Persia. Venable trying to use the screen. And his pocket picked, and Lamizana did a good job of keeping the basketball alive. Princeton dropped everybody defensively. Rutgers couldn't run. Lamizana. Oh! There's a highlight film play if that one falls. Great body control. But he couldn't get it to sit out.
Princeton got away with not 1 hand check, but 2 right there. Bumping Lamizana off his spot.
Wright came out and challenged the 3 for Wallace, who drops down. I'll go to work on Lamizana, trying to draw number 4. Oh, right, good defensive help. And Wallace, if at first you don't succeed, gets rejected. Nothing inside, they'll back it out.
And good defensive challenge right there by Rutgers. 2nd in the country last year in blocks.
Sherrod thought he had himself a clean steal, but the official's whistle blows. And it's going to turn into shots as Sherrod hits Venable going by.
A great defensive possession for Rutgers, but Venable once again trying to make things happen. They're struggling outside. He's going to put the ball to the floor and try and create for himself.
A career high against Lafayette. 4 out of 4 from the line here tonight. more try coming for Will Venable.
44, Calvin Wooten.
There's Calvin Wooten coming in. He'll replace Sherrod, who sits with 2 fouls. Tigers right here can get back within 5. Good defensive help there for Robbins, sneaking up behind Wright. And that's the 5th turnover for Rutgers.
Coleman led him too far.
Wallace didn't have a cutter, wanted one, and now takes it into his own hands. Oh, good, that tip follow to Venable.
Venable just kind of reached out and somehow redirected the basketball up.
Look out, 3-point game. Wallace is really banging away with Kareem Wright underneath. And off the miss, Persia kept the rebound alive. Here come the Tigers again. Robbins blocked away.
Wow.
That's a great play by Lamizana.
I mean, he covers such ground. Great timing, quickness off the floor.
And Shields gets fouled on the way in. Major momentum turn right there as Princeton was trying to go in to get within 1, and Lamizana said that's not going to happen.
There's this tip in a couple plays before the sweeping hook. Somehow Venable, I don't know how he got that one to go. Here's this defensive play, though. Look at Lamizana. The timing to make sure he avoids the contact, punches it away, leads to the foul at the other end. Great defensive play by Lamizana.
That is Rutgers' first point in just over 5 minutes. They extend the lead back out to 4 on the free throw by Shields. One more try coming.
And it's offense created by the defense at the other end. Talked about them guarding the basketball and coming up with steals. They also average over 6 blocks per game. They really challenge shots all over the place.
One of the things that they have not done well this year, they've been horrific from the free throw line, but they've shot it pretty well in the limited opportunities tonight. Persia missing on the 3, another rebound for Lamizana.
How long can Princeton stay in the game if they don't make some of those outside shots?
Lamizana invites 2 on him. How about 3? And he gets fouled by Robbins on the way in.
And he stayed with it. Good patience there by Lamizana. Got the defender on his back. The quick spin. You see right here. Good patience. Bounce it a couple times and then the quick spin. Ball fake at the defense up. Robbins thought he had all ball, but a lot of contact down low.
So Lamizana, 15-point night working here. Now make it 16.
Filling up the stat sheet. He's got a bunch of rebounds for Gary Waters as well. A couple block shots.
There it is. 3 blocks. 6 out of 7 from the floor. Pulled the string a little on that one, but got it to sit. He's got 17. And it's back up to a 7-point game. There's a big momentum turn on Lamizana's block shot.
Loger's been awfully quiet here in the second half. Shields doing a good job defensively on him right now.
Stepping out is Stevens. Mike Stevens the miss.
Oh, wow.
Robbins thought he might have a jam putback. And now did he just get teed up? He thought he got fouled, and I think that Reggie Greenwood just teed him up.
He was complaining at the other end when he was whistled for the foul against Lamizana. But that's a quick tee right there.
A technical foul has been called on number 31, Ray Robbins. That becomes his 3rd foul. The team's 4th.
So his 3rd foul, team's 4th. The technical foul on Robbins. Now Rutgers was coming down with the ball, but what they'll get here is 2 shots and the ball. In a game like this one, Princeton having a lot of trouble getting up over the hump. That's not good timing at all for the Tigers. And give Rutgers credit, they are hitting their foul shots tonight. So they hit 2 more right there, and they will get the basketball back when we come back. Just a couple of moments ago, Princeton Tigers were driving to get within 1. Now they trail it by 9. And Mick Moninghoff courtside. 11:36 to go. Rutgers has pushed the lead back out to 47-38. Just a few moments ago, the Princeton and Robbins were driving to try to get to within one, and now a Robbins technical foul and the 2 ensuing free throws have made this a 9-point game, and Rutgers can build on that.
Yeah, and Rutgers got an opportunity right here to throw a knockout punch.
2 big numbers. Rutgers incredibly 7 out of 7 from the line. They've shot it poorly from the line this year. More incredibly, Princeton 2 out of 21 from 3. He's going to get called for an offensive foul. That'll be his first.
That's not the way you want to come out of the timeout if you're trying to throw the knockout punch. A little knockdown on the offensive foul.
Well, here is Wenting.
The guy right there, Gloger's got to get re-involved here offensively. Been very quiet in the second half.
A lot more movement from Princeton here right now. Wenty was open briefly. The shot clock down under 10. And late in the possession, Joel Wiggin going to get called for a holding foul. His second, team's 4th.
And Venables just been able to break people down off the dribble with that quick first step.
Joel Wiggin, his second. The Scarlet Knights 4th.
I could put that down under the category of mistake for Wiggin when you played defense for 25 seconds. And Princeton doesn't have a real good look at the basket. You don't want to be fouling him and giving him a recycled shot clock.
Rookie Shields really doing a terrific job over Gloger right now.
Venable, big tape, and Lamizana got another block. John Thompson thought it was goaltending, no call.
Nope, great block, great timing.
So now Rutgers looking to press their advantage. Aksani wants the basketball, didn't get it. Way outside, Wilton, a miss. And Gloger threw it off Lamizana. It's going to belong to Princeton. Check it out, goaltending or not.
A great defensive rotation right here by Lamizana, and he took it to the backboard. Terrific defensive play. No goaltending on that. Good hustle right here by Gloger. Smart play. A little contact, but knocks the ball off Lamizana. Huge possession right here for Princeton. They got to get something going offensively.
Gloger backing in, and he got fouled. Is that Lamizana? Shields and Lamizana were both there.
32, Sean Aksani.
So was Sean Aksani, and Aksani's going to get hit for the foul. His second, team's 5th, so it's not on Lamizana. That would have been his 4th.
Now struggling offensively, and they've got to get Gloger back involved. Haven't had much success on the perimeter, so they go post him up inside.
Another try for Gloger.
Rutgers substitution, number 55, Kareem Wright.
Saw him profiled at halftime with Mick Moninghoff.
Straight in, watch elbows.
Happy to be back here again at Princeton. And it's showing up in the way he's played over the first 5, now 6 games. Under 10 left to play. 8-point game. And off the turnover, Princeton gets it back again. 7 turnovers now for the Scarlet Knights.
Rutgers leaving the door open.
There's a lot of possessions in a row now. Princeton's had a chance to come down and make some noise, and they have yet to make that noise. Foot on the line, and the shot drilled by Judson Wallace. So a 2-point jumper, he's got 5.
Kareem Wright came to double down in on the low post, and anytime you do that again, the Princeton centers can shoot it from the outside.
Shields got caught under the basket, and he's going to get called for an offensive foul.
And 3 straight bad offensive possessions by Rutgers. Again, leaving the door open. Princeton hasn't played that well, yet they've got themselves an opportunity to cut the lead down to 4-3. Shields trying to do too much. Over penetration picks up the charge.
Now you're talking about 7 games. You've done this 3 times, which is leaving the door open for a team you got down in the second half. That's a recurring theme. Gloger steps out, nails the three.
That's the thing. You leave the door open. Princeton trying to kick it in right now.
3-point ball game. Rutgers saw a big lead in the second half disappear at North Carolina. They almost blew a big one in Philadelphia against Temple. Chance to blow this game wide open. They did not, and now Princeton's right in it. Wiggin, short-range jump shot to cut the bleeding. He's got 6. Not a lot of movement from the Tigers. There's Wallace posting up. And a push-off from behind. Kareem Wright called for the personal in second. He's going to put Rutgers up over the limit. And Princeton will be shooting the rest of the way.
7th foul of the half. The Rutgers substitution.
Just an isolation right here. Wallace trying to get to the middle of the floor, and you see the bump right there by Wright.
Wallace, he'll be shooting 1-1.
Princeton 11 out of 12. We've seen 1 missed free throw, now 2 because I said that in this game.
2 in a row, right? They missed their last 2.
Yep. Sherrod, nowhere to go with it. Coleman has been basically a non-factor. Wiggin, no shot to go. And Persia, the littlest guy, comes out with it. Does a good job of hanging out of the basketball and getting rid of it before a traveling call. And Venable, a chance to finish from the free throw line.
Oh, we've seen his speed off the dribble. This time it's a quick cut to the basket.
Fouls number 55. Kareem Wright, his 3rd.
Nice little give and go. About Persia keeping his composure. See right here, as soon as Venable gets it, Wiggins jumps to the ball. He dives hard to the glass. A hard foul given up by Kareem Wright.
Venable hitting out of the first. One more try coming. He's got a chance to get it back down to a 3-point game. And Venable does. 49-46 with a timeout on the floor in 7 minutes 42 seconds. To go in the ball game here at Jadwin Gym. All of a sudden, we've got a good one again. CNA 6. Rutgers on top of Princeton. 7:42 to go here at Jadwin Gym. Well, today turned out to be the end of the line in college football in 1AA for Andy Talley and the Villanova Wildcats in the 1AA semifinals. The Final Four, they were beaten in a game that was closer than it sounds by McNeese State 39-28. Western Kentucky shocked Georgia Southern. So Western Kentucky and McNeese State will play in Chattanooga Friday for the 1AA National Championship. But congratulations to Andy Talley and the entire program at Villanova for just a superb season. The other note is the Heisman Trophy, in case you missed it, was won by Carson Palmer.
A little bit of an upset, huh? Miami guys splitting votes, I guess.
Probably. There's probably some Penn State fans that are a little disappointed out there as well. The foul call is Coleman brought it inside, and Venable gets called for his 3rd personal. Team foul number 5 for Princeton. Oh, an inbound for the Scarlet Knights, a fresh 35 with 7:24 left to go.
Substitution is number 1,
Amizana will come back into the ball game now, and Sean Axani will take a seat.
Dead silence there, huh? I mean, this building gets quiet. Got at least 5,000 people in it. It's everybody quiet, just kind of watching.
It's a lot better than 5. Coleman got caught in midair. How's that not a travel?
Well, got away with a little hop, skip, and a jump.
5 points now for Coleman. His only 2nd basket of the game and his 1st here in the second half. The Rutgers lead at 5. Nothing there for Wente. There's Gloger with a screen and a 3.
Well, they They've had problems finding him coming off a double screen right there. Jerome Coleman had been keeping the basketball out of his hands, got caught up on the double screen. And Gloger now starting to step into those three-point shots. 2 here in the second half.
2-point ball game. Lamizana bothered by Gloger. Almost got whistled for 5 right there. Coleman. Got it.
Well, matching 3 for 3 right there off the dribble. You're just backing up, figuring he's going to get the offense initiated. Instead, he drops another long 3.
We said he's been a non-factor to this point, but watch out. He can score in bunches.
Doesn't matter. Well, nice steal once again. Stripping him is Sherrod.
And a two-fisted jam. This was a 2-point game a moment ago, and now it's back up to 7.
Every time Princeton gets themselves back into it, Rutgers with the little spurt to get him some breathing room.
John Thompson says he needs a timeout, and he'll get one with 5:36 to go. The 30-second timeout that will turn into the full timeout. And Rutgers basically has taken every punch that Princeton has thrown. They certainly did leave the door open for them to get back in the game, but every time Princeton's gotten close, Rutgers has gone to the whip.
There's that long leap by Coleman, gets it off the glass. There's the defensive ball pressure once again. Mike Sherrod comes from behind. Second time we've seen him pick a pocket clean. Finishes with the 2-hand dunk. So their defense once again stepping up to create some offense.
You look at Princeton, you say last year 16-12, playing in the playoff for the Ivy League title. What if Andre Logan missed time with the ACL? He's in trouble again now in terms of being able to play this year. Spencer Gloger was at UCLA but not playing. Chris Young was ineligible because of signing a professional baseball contract. Take a look at those 3 right there, other than what they had last year. And this could be a Princeton team that would have been going to back-to-back NCAAs.
Yeah, how about if you put any one of those 3 guys with last year's team? Logan was playing as good a basketball as anybody for the Princeton Tigers when he went down. You see what Gloger can do. And how about Chris Young? And remember, Young ineligible by Ivy League rules, not by NCAA rules. If he was able to play for the Princeton Tigers the last 2 years at center, that would have been a whole different look for the Tigers.
I'm sure there's a lot of fans with other teams in the Ivy League as you look at the numbers on the 2 leading scorers. Some Ivy League fans that are happy that Chris Young was unable to play, but personal opinion, it's a stupid rule.
No, especially if it's an NCAA rule where you can sign a professional contract in another sport and still play. The Ivy League should have the same rule.
Absolutely.
Why penalize guys because they're superior in one sport? Give them the same opportunities that they would have if they went to any other school. What it does is if you're a 2-sport athlete now, you say after that happened, well, I'm not going to be interested in Ivy League school because I may not be able to play.
Ivy League did more damage to itself down the line with that than they realize. Gloger, 4 around him. Somebody's got to be open. Shot clock under 10. And a whistle in the lane. Gloger, who was trying to establish position on Coleman, got it. The little guy was trying to hang on and gets hit for his second foul.
Well, there's so much cutting and so much movement. At times, as you're bumping the cutters, sometimes you find yourself grabbing and holding. Coleman gets whistled for the foul.
Gloger's got 20. He's 1 out of 2 from the line. This is a 1-and-1 opportunity now with 5:14 to go. He just looks so self-assured and confident out there as a player right now.
Looks like he's been here for the last 2 years and not sitting out, not playing basketball. Now back-to-back 20-point games.
Venable. Oh, Venable apparently kept it alive. Reggie Greenwood said it's same way, but he gets overruled, and it will be Rutgers basketball.
A good piece of officiating by Jim Haney coming from behind. He had the better look. Well, I'm not so sure about that. Even though Venable's the guy that forced the basketball that way, looked like it may have come off Lamizana. Take it back.
Coming up on 5 minutes left to go. That could be a key point in this 6-point game. Sherrod patiently to work. They're playing well off him as the shot clock zeroes in on 10. Backdoor cut. I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, why not? Overplayed out on the wing. Nice backdoor cut there by Coleman. Strength to finish around the hoop as well.
Maybe there's a magnet in the floor that just pulls you that way. Venable caught underneath. Wide open is Wente. And he just does not have that shooting rhythm this year from the outside right now.
And no confidence. You know, he's had a couple open looks and he hasn't pulled the trigger. You can see why. He's not in any type of shooting rhythm.
Could have been a big one right there to get his team back within 5.
And again, a wide open look from 3. They've had some very, very good looks. They have not shot the ball well tonight.
Right. Using all of that bulk inside and fouled by Judson Wallace.
And Kareem Wright has been very aggressive. This is a Princeton or a Rutgers team that has not had a whole lot of inside scoring throughout the season. You wouldn't know it right here. Here's the back door from Coleman. Nice cut. The ability to get around the defender as well. But Kareem Wright giving them some offensive inside presence, something they have not had this year. The graduation of Rashad Kent, who filled that role for them last year.
Right to miss. Rutgers finally cooling off a little bit from the free throw line. As we said, a team that's really struggled from that spot.
Yeah, shooting it at less than 60% on the season.
And he missed a pair of them badly. So the door stays open just that little bit in this 8-point game.
That's where, when you're not a very good foul shooting team, you let games drag on a little bit longer than they need to because you can't finish it off from 15 feet.
And Wallace burying the foul line jumper makes it a 6-point game. 7 now for Judson Wallace. 3.5 left to go.
Princeton just fully matched up in straight man.
And Wright shovels in the pass toward the sideline, threw it away. 9th turnover for the Scarlet Knights. And that door opens just a little bit further with 3:29 left to go. And Rutgers up by 6. Go 6-point Rutgers lead. They do have the possession arrow. They've also fouled 9 times. So Princeton at the line for 2 the rest of the way. Rutgers kind of uncharacteristically hitting their free throws earlier in the ball game, but don't be surprised to see Princeton sending them to the line to play the law of averages here late in the game as they try to come back in. Scarlet Knights bringing a good-sized contingent on the ride from New Brunswick here tonight down to Princeton. It's a short ride. Now the Tigers go to work.
One thing about Princeton, even though they're down by 6, they're not going to rush through things offensively.
They work themselves a high percentage shot for Gloger.
And that's why they don't rush things, don't force things. They stay within the context of their offense to get an easy look.
You tell me how a team shooting 4 for 24 from 3-point range that relies so heavily on that as a weapon can be within 4 points with under 3 minutes to go.
No, if they made a couple of those open threes, this could be an entirely different game. One thing that Rutgers has done, though, they have obliged by keeping them in it.
Coleman's had a much better second half, but ill-advised right there, in and out.
Well, he's a guy who can just pull up and take those shots. We've seen him hit a few of them. And again, he's got the confidence and the shooter's mentality. He's going to fire away.
Gloger's wide open. The miss, the fight for the rebound, and the save by Aksani. And a reach-in foul. Going to walk it back down the other end, and Jerome Coleman will go to the line.
Another missed opportunity. Hey, there's only one stat you got to look at if you're Princeton. Your 3-point shooting. Here's his possession earlier. Gloger just turns, ducks back in. But the wide open 3 here missed in the left corner. It's been the 3-point shooting that's been the biggest stat by far here tonight.
They are 4 out of 25. Coleman makes the first. Another try coming for Jerome Coleman. Terrific free throw shooter.
Yeah, if you're going to put Rutgers at the line, he's not the guy you want to put there.
Although just 1 out of 2 right there, and Venable the rebound. So a 5-point game with 2:13 left.
And again, if you don't make foul shots, you allow games to stretch on. You make some foul shots, and you close the game out.
Well, if you don't take care of the basketball, and you lose your opportunity to get back into it. Coleman now has 10 second-half points.
And that's where you've got to communicate with your teammates. Somebody's got to tell Wallace that all of a sudden here comes Coleman on a gamble.
Tell you what, how many times have we seen this tonight where Princeton has had a chance to make it a one-point game, and all of a sudden you turn back around at 7 or 9. Rutgers just holding them at arm's length.
Because of their defense. We saw once again yet another steal. Rutgers all season long, last year as well. This is a team that's built around pressure defense. They call it Waters pressure. Gary Waters' team getting up and putting pressure on the basketball. Mike Sherrod, all their perimeter players really defend the basketball so well, forcing guys to get in spots they don't want. Then they also challenge shots relentlessly. A couple big-time blocks by Hervé Lamanzana. A couple blocks that really changed the momentum of the game. None bigger than right here. This was an opportunity for Princeton to cut it to 1. Instead, allowed Rutgers to get out on a run themselves. It's been their defense that has gotten them out to this 7-point lead and has kept Princeton at bay.
And it was the defense that just got to their most recent basket. As you see Coleman taking it down the floor and putting it away to make it a 61-54 game. Now back to action with 1:40 to go. Gloger for 3. Got it.
And again, even though he missed his last wide-open 3, you got to get out and challenge. Defensive breakdown right there. Game's back down to within 4.
Spencer Gloger's got 26. Big possession right here. Sherrod, a 3. Go, big shot. Dagger shot with 1:19 to go.
Well, they'll let him take that shot, and Mike Sherrod makes him pay for it. Big shot right there.
And that's good for Judson Wallace. Back down to a 4-point game.
After not being able to make a 3-point shot all game long, Princeton steps up, knocks down back-to-back.
Timeout, Rutgers.
Well, they had been 4 out of 25 before those last 2, and they buried them. Question is, do they have enough time now with 55.2 left to go?
And how about the 3 by Mike Sherrod at the other end? Here's a nice kick out. Wallace stepping up. Good looking stroke. Plenty of time.
Well, you're wearing a white shirt right now, and you're thinking anything like we normally shoot the three-pointer, and this is so different in this final minute of the game. 6 out of 27.
Right now, if you're Princeton, you got to be thinking and putting on some full-court pressure here. The ball's already up. But you got to get up and put pressure on the basketball. 29 seconds on the shot clock. The way that Rutgers shoots the basketball from the foul line, I think you got to give up the foul and force Rutgers to step to the line and earn it.
Rutgers has a possession arrow. Princeton can stop it just once. Down by 4 here with under a minute to play. Ricky Shields keying the inbound now for the Scarlet Knights. If you're going to foul, Lamanzana might not have been a bad guy to attempt to foul.
Not that guy, though.
Coleman got hit in the face on his shot attempt, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. If you're going to foul, you want to put them in the 1-and-1, not the 2-shot foul. A lot of defensive mistakes right there for Princeton.
Well, right here, they're not looking to give up the foul, and there's the scrape across the face. Not a whole lot of contact.
Well, once again, if you're going to do it, you don't let 8 seconds expire. You don't put this guy at the line, and you don't give him a 2-shot instead of a 1-and-1.
No, and right there, I don't think they were looking to give up the foul, just trying to challenge the shot. If he misses it, it's a good play because now you have possession, you're running up the floor.
It stays a 2-possession game as he makes a pair of them. Princeton does not necessarily have to think three-pointer right here, but if there's one there, they'll take it. Persia walked, spun the wheels at the top of the circle, and Reggie Greenwood whistled him for it. 10th turnover. Persia shakes his head no, but son, you traveled.
No question about it. Unforced error. Trying to speed things up and create something. No, bad defense right there. You got to know who is the best foul shooter, and you got to keep the basketball out of his hands. Coleman's their best foul shooter at 85% on the season. What do? You foul him and send him back to the line.
So Coleman back to the line again, and all of a sudden, Take a look at the numbers. He had 3 points early in the second half. It had been no factor, and now all of a sudden, he's to the line now with a chance to get to the 17-point mark for the game.
He's got a little Vinnie Johnson in him, huh? A little microwave. He shoots the three so well, and he's so aggressive offensively that he can get on runs. He'll be at 2 points. Next thing you turn around, and it's 12 just like that.
Larry Waters' team has absorbed every shot that Princeton has thrown at them tonight. Of course, they've stayed within punching range, but every time it's come down to it, Rutgers has had just a little bit more. And that is just not a good foul from Sherrod.
Ooh, that's being kind, huh? That is the absolute worst play you can make right there defensively.
That's Rutgers' 10th foul of the half.
Well, it's a two-shot foul. It stops the clock. It puts a good free throw shooter at the line. And if he makes a pair of them in a two-possession game, it gives Princeton a chance to set up their defensive pressure on the inbound.
Such a big difference between setting up the press off a made shot where everybody's scrambling around. So much easier to inbound the ball offensively than having to go up against a full-court pressure off the made foul shot. Big difference.
So here goes. He makes this one. Princeton will set it up, and they do. John Thompson is going to use what's his last timeout at 36.9. Now, we've had questions about this here on CN8 already this year.
Right.
I believe we have visual confirmation all the way around and home again that was indeed the last timeout for the Tigers. I'll tell you what.
Great place to take it. You're already set up in your full court pressure defense. The clock is stopped. I don't know about taking it right there.
36.9 left to go in the game. Rutgers another game with an opponent close by on the. I make that Princeton another game with an opponent close by on the road at Ryder on Wednesday night.
That game at the Sovereign Bank Arena.
Short hop down Route 1 in the Trenton area.
They revived that rivalry last year, playing Ryder for the first time in a long time.
It actually makes sense.
Searching for something. Oh.
Once again, in the world of television, sometimes things just happen for a reason. Scarlet Knights, a year to remember, 1975-76, the NCAA Final Four. They beat Princeton. First round of the NCAA tournament, UConn, VMI. And they lost to Michigan in the semifinal. Lost to UCLA. Indiana was perfect that year and won it all, but that was the starting five. And I will tell you, Rob Kennedy, I honestly believe that I watched them every Saturday night at the Barn on television.
Oh, yeah. And talk about tough places to play. That Barn was an impossible place to play. These teams have met over 100 times in that first round NCAA game. The most memorable.
So 35.9 to go on the quick foul.
Princeton foul on number 30.
That will be the final of the 1-and-1 fouls that Rutgers has an opportunity to shoot.
Director John Anderson reminds us that Princeton had an opportunity to win that game. Missed two foul shots at the end. Ruggsy Malloy came up short with an opportunity to win that game. Rutgers instead got on a roll and found themselves in the Final Four.
Amizana makes the first big make on the front end of the 1-and-1 as it makes it a three-possession game again. Another try. So 7-point game. Princeton's got to go to work, and they've got to do it quickly. Whatever shot shows itself first.
Too much time going off. Remember, they don't have timeouts, so they got to. Oh, smart play.
That was thinking on the part of Judson Wallace as he jumped up, got the contact from Lamizana, stopped the clock, and now he can go to the line for a three-shot foul.
One of my favorite plays. You need a three trying to close up ground. Show the basketball from beyond the three-point line and try to get yourself to the line for three. Stop the clock. So many times you see it. It's a natural reaction when you know a team's going for a three. Defenses try to run out and challenge. Show the ball. Smart play.
One more try coming as he missed on that one.
The frustration of Gary Waters, he was quite upset with Lamanzana running out and picking up the foul.
A high arcing free throw gets it back down to a 5-point game. 24.4 left to go. And the foul before they even inbound the basketball, which is also smart play.
Yeah, but I think they're going to call it an intentional foul.
And it's not a smart play.
22 Will Venable is fourth.
Did they indeed call that an intentional foul?
Yep. Reggie Greenwood with the signal. So Wiggins will go to line with nobody else there with him.
The key here is no pressure at all to shoot your two and then get the ball back.
Joel Wiggin with another good game here tonight.
And Rutgers a chance to get a little bit closer to putting this one away here in the closing minute of play. Tight ball game just about throughout. Every time Rutgers threw a run on Princeton, Princeton came back, got it to within a couple. Never could quite get over the hump, though. Sherrod couldn't get it inbounds. Rutgers had 3 timeouts remaining, so he'll burn one right there so to avoid a possible turnover. I mentioned Princeton's upcoming game. Rutgers will play a week from tonight, Saturday at home against Virginia. Our upcoming telecast here on CN8 next Saturday at 1 o'clock. South Florida against Michigan State. Saturday, December 28th, 4 p.m. Valparaiso and Purdue. Finally, New Year's Eve afternoon. Big 5 battle here on CN8. You'll close out your year with Rod Kennedy and me, Temple and Villanova from the Pavilion down on the main line. And don't forget, big high school basketball game coming up next Sunday at 7.
Good opportunity to see local hero Maurice Rice, terrific player in his own right, and LeBron James, who made his national television debut earlier this week as his St. Vincent St. Mary's team rocked Oak Hill, #1 ranked team in the country, and boy did he put on a show, not only dominating the game but dominating Sports Center as well. I mean, between Dick Vitale, you had a crew there, huh? Dick Vitale, Jay Billis, and Bill Walton. A little hype for a high school player, huh?
And of course, Rice just 176 short of Wilt Chamberlain's record, so join us for that one on the 22nd at 7. Try for the quick foul on the inbound. And it is indeed a quick foul on the inbound.
Princeton foul number 10.
By Persia. On a 7-point game with 23.6 to go, it comes down to making the free throws at the end of the ball game for the Scarlet Knights to put this one away.
Ricky Shields for 2 shots.
This is Shields. Another try coming. That is a very good sign for the Scarlet Knights that you're seeing right there in the lower left corner of your screen.
Last in the Big East in foul shooting percentage last year. Rashad Kent, one of the worst foul shooters in all of college basketball.
Wallace nails that 3. The percentages aren't going to look as bad.
Here we go.
Little showtime for Lamanzana. Of course, when you dunk the ball off your face, you lose some style points.
Yeah, he'll take it.
Neither you nor I really have to worry about that.
Never happened.
And Wente nails his 3. No timeouts left for Princeton. They can't stop the clock. 5-point game. Shields avoids the foul and now does get fouled with 6.7 to go.
By making some of these threes late, you won't really see the full story of their poor outside shooting when you look at the box score tomorrow.
Well, they bottomed out at 4 out of 25 was the number, and then they hit their next couple in a row, and they've hit a couple here near the end.
What that poor shooting did is it put them into a hole that they never were able to get themselves out of.
Shields hitting his free throws, as are the Scarlet Knights. 14 points on the game now for Ricky Shields.
Good solid road win for Gary Waters' team. They only won 2 road games last year. This will be their 2nd road win, both of them on CN8. Win at Temple and a win at Princeton.
Get a couple of road wins if you're Rutgers. They win every game at home, so
yep.
automatically turns into a terrific year.
And it should be a very good contest. Todd Billett coming back to town for that game you were mentioning Saturday at home against Virginia.
So that will do it for the game. Gary Waters, it's a fight on his hand from John Thompson tonight in the Princeton Tigers, but Rutgers does hang on. Big East over the Ivy League tonight, 76-70. The final score in this ball game here at Jadwin Gym. Rutgers improves to 5-2 overall. Princeton falls to 3-3 overall with the loss here to their in-state rival. But I think in a lot of respects, you can take a look at some of the things that Princeton did tonight. They could be very happy with what they ended up doing out on the floor.
Yeah, if they make some of those outside shots, especially early, it could be a different game. But Gary Waters' team showing some mental toughness, withstanding a couple runs from Princeton to get out with the road win.
Oh, big win for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They get the victory here tonight at Jadwin Gym. Tonight's game produced by Tony Smith and directed by John Anderson. Now for Mick Boninghoff, Rob Kennedy, for our entire CN8 crew, this is Scott Graham. We thank you for watching. Rutgers on top of Princeton tonight, 76-70. Good night, everyone.